Hello everybody, I'm Brainy Diode and I am back with another episode of Nier Automata. Last time we finished our journey through the tower and got endings C and D. This time I have a guide of how to get all of the game's endings up next to me. They're pretty easy to find. Guides, not necessarily all of the endings, and suddenly my controller is not cooperating.
I never quite
Alright, now my controller is working again. Not quite sure why that happened. And now it's not working again. What's going on here? There we go. Alright. So, as I was saying, I have a guide of how to get all of the game's endings up next to me, and my controller keeps stopping. What on earth? I really hope this isn't going to be a problem. I have a guide of the endings up next to me, and I will be going through them and getting all of the endings that we haven't seen yet, except for reasons that I have already explained, endings E and Y. So, I will be going through the chapter select screen and showing you which chapter you want to get each ending from. Basically, I'm just using this guide and adapting the guide into a video, but you know, I haven't actually seen most of these endings myself, so we'll get to experience something new together. Anyway, I'll be showing off what chapters in the chapter select screen you want to go to for each of the endings, but other than that, I'm going to cut out a lot of what's not, you know, how to get the endings and the endings themselves. Basically, the junk between the endings, I'll be cutting a lot of that out. I really have no idea how long this video is going to be, so I apologize in advance if it ends up being super long. But in the effort to make it shorter, I am going to go ahead and say, without further ado, let's jump right on into it. So here we are in Chapter Select. I have shown off the Chapter Select menu once before, back when we had to get the second ending from the tower. But we are going to go to Chapter 1 for this to start off. And first we want to go to Chapter 01-3_2, 9S's Aerial Combat. And it gives us an option of who to play there. And yes, let's begin. And I'm back. So, partway through the fight against Angles, you'll run into a bit where 9S gets thrown out of the sky and he has to repair himself. In order to get ending F, all you have to do is just let this timer run itself out. I'm not going to make you sit through the whole timer because, you know, we still have 2.5 minutes left. So I will just cut out the rest of waiting for this timer to go down and join you back when it's time for the actual ending to happen. And we're back with just 10 seconds left, and as you can see, things have gotten pretty bad, but there is literally no way to save 9S in time, so here we go. Black box signal ceased. Unit 9S death confirmed. Alright, so 9S just freaking died. Yorha could not stand up to the might of the Goliaths. Now their extinction is only a matter of time. It seems that mankind will never regain its former glory. Well, you're right about that. Mission failed. Alright, so that's ending F. I'll be back in a second with ending G. And here we are back on the chapter select screen, and it looks like for ending G, we want to go to 01-01_2, 9S disarms the defense system. Let's go ahead.
Operator 210 to Unit 9S. Come in, 9S.
9S here. Go ahead.
The Yorha troops have commenced their descent. Disable the enemy base's defense systems immediately.
Roger that.
So, supposedly, we're supposed to run towards the crane and neglect the mission, but doesn't exactly specify which crane. So, we're gonna see what this is. What is this? Oh, that
Alert.
lowers this
Proceed
crane.
with mission operations immediately.
Alright, so it looks like we're going in the right direction. "9S was last heard to say, 'I can't control my curiosity about machines anymore. I'm leaving so I can study them as much as I want.' He was never heard from again." Hungry for knowledge. Alright. So it's important to note with these endings that you don't get the chance to save after them. If you're just doing them in the normal course of the story, rather than after you've already gotten most of the endings, or most of the main endings rather, like I'm doing now, then the game will record that you got the ending, but it will not record your progress, so when you load up the game, you'll have to start from the last spot you saved. So, for example, if you're doing any of the tutorial endings, then you'll have to completely restart the tutorial unless you get there through chapter select. So keep that in mind. That's an important note to make. And for ending H, we will be headed to chapter 05-2. Doesn't really look quite like we need to, doesn't look like we need to pick one android specifically over the other, so just either one you feel like playing as here. It will all work out.
What's that noise?
2B, this is an emergency transmission from the bunker. We're reading a Goliath-class enemy inside the city ruins. And it looks like there are a ton of other machines there with it. All Yorha units should proceed and engage immediately.
A Goliath? This was a trap. I knew it.
I promise you, we were not aware of this information. I realize the odds of you believing me are strikingly low, but I hope you will nonetheless.
We'll sort it out later. Let's go.
So at this point, obviously, we're supposed to head into the city to fight the Goliath, but to get this ending that we're going for now, we want to head towards the amusement park.
Confirm current destination. Alert. Leaving the operational area.
To B and 9S chose to abandon their mission, allowing the machines to wreak destruction upon the city ruins and resistance camp. The extinction of Yorha is also surely a matter of time. A mountain too high. For ending I, we're heading down to chapter 8, and we want chapter 8-01_1 to be searches for 9S. Is that really what we... I'm sorry. No, that's incorrect. We want chapter 8-01_2 to be's battle with Adam. That would have been a little bit unfortunate if I had to do the whole search for 9S again, but it wouldn't have been too big of a deal, especially since I would have been cutting most of it out.
Is this death?
So in order to get this ending, you'll need to redo the fight against Adam, which I have already done and cut out. It should be pretty short this time around because you'll keep all of your upgrades and everything that you got during the main story when you go back to chapter select. But in order to get this ending, you have to walk away from 9S instead of towards him. 9S waited several decades for 2B to return, but she was never seen again. No I in team. Back in Chapter Select. For Ending J, we want to go to Chapter 9. And we want Chapter 9-1_3.
You enter the domain of God.
So the guide I'm looking at says what we want to do here is when entering the factory and meeting the machines, kill any of them. I assume this does not include Pascal, but dang, I'm curious, so let's give it a shot.
Stop. We have no desire to fight you. Please, you must be calm. We have come to negotiate peace with you. Stop. We have no desire to fight you. Please, you must be calm. We have come to negotiate peace with you.
Alright, so it looks like we can't kill Pascal. So,
Please, you must be calm. We have come to negotiate peace with you.
yeah, let's just get rid of one of these guys. That's a little bit disappointing. After I refused to kill Pascal earlier. In a sudden fit of temper, 2B wiped out the machine life forms, and no peace was born that day. I mean, let's be honest, no peace was born in this part of the game anyway. Bad judgment. Knowing what comes next, I'd hesitate to call that bad judgment, but whatever. That's what the game says. For Ending K, we want to go to Chapter 6-1. Yep, just 6-01. No little subtitles this time. Let's play as 2B again. It's been a while since we've gotten to play as 2B, so... I mean, other than in this video, of course.
Man,
Alright, so we're here in the
Commander
bunker.
sure is a slave driver, huh? And now we have to go back to the city ruins. Why don't we rest a little bit, 2B? It's been a while.
I'll rest if I feel like it.
Alright, so I am currently taking a look at a bunker access point. We just got a bit of mail, so let's check out what that was. One of them is from Jack, and says, "Hey, sorry to bring this up out of the blue, but I've got a fish I want to recommend to your HA units. To be more specific, I want you to eat it so I can study how its oil affects a Yorha unit. You know, for science. Anywho, stop by if you get bored. It's my treat." So, I'm sure you've noticed that we didn't do that during the main game, or the main story, so let's go ahead and do that now. So like you just saw, we want to transport to the desert camp, because that's where Jack's hanging out waiting for us. And now that we're here,
Leave me alone,
we just...
jackass. I can't deal with your weird hobbies anymore.
Like I care what you think, jerk.
Did we see that cutscene the first time around? Either way, we've got to talk to Jack to get this ending. Oh yeah, I still have to give you that stupid fish. So this thing is called a mackerel, and apparently eating it has a horrible effect on androids. I'd love to see what it does, so go ahead and chow down. Don't blame me if you die, though. Sure, just give us some killer fish. Literally. Well, I mean, in order to get it, in order to get the ending, we do have to eat the fish, so, let's go ahead. Having consumed the mackerel, it didn't take long for the android's bodily fluids to congeal. Muscle rigidity and paralysis soon followed. It was good, though, the android thought as consciousness faded. Exquisite even. No wonder humans used to eat them. Aji wo kuta. I'm gonna say right now, I can't speak Japanese, so I apologize for my pronunciations of the Japanese endings. And back on the chapter select screen for ending L, we go to chapter 10, and we want... There's actually two options for doing this one. We can either go to 10-01_3 or 10-3. I'm going to go ahead and do the former. 2B assists the resistance. We have to play as 2B, and let's get started. So, to get this ending, if you went to the resistance camp, you leave the resistance camp during the attack without defeating the enemies. And if you go to the other option, it will be an attack on Pascal's village, and there you just have to run away from the village while it's being attacked too. Something interesting to note...
enemies here. We can't just leave.
Something interesting to note is that if you do go to Pascal's village, the text you get from the ending will still refer to the resistance camp. Fed up, 2B left the camp to its fate and decided to go fishing? Yeah, that's it, fishing. With a smile on her face, she packed up and headed for the coast. 10 years later, 2B would find herself hunted by both machine life forms and Yorha assassins, a life she seemed to enjoy more than her previous one. Lone Wolf. Back on the chapter select screen once again for this next one. Ending M, we want to go to chapter 14. 14-03, Pascal needs help. And we're playing as A2 for this one.
Right. Now I just have to bring this to Pascal.
A2, can you hear me?
Oh, perfect.
Help, A2.
I have the materials
The
you asked me
village
to...
is in great trouble. The villagers are...
Pascal! Pascal, are you there? What the hell is going on?
Hypothesis. The valuable source of information known as Pascal has encountered difficulty. Proposal. Unit A2 should investigate Pascal's village immediately.
I'm on my way.
So, as you might imagine, the way to get this ending is once again to do exactly the opposite of what the game says to do. Just run away from Pascal's village. There's a couple different options of where you can go. According to this guide, if you go to the very back of the resistance camp, then you will trigger the ending. Other options include the factory and the amusement park. A2 suddenly felt like taking a little stroll. Though the walk gave her a sense of peace and fulfillment, Pascal's village had been reduced to rubble when she returned. So, back on the chapter select screen, for ending N, we want to go to chapter 7-01, reporting to Pascal. This is another one, we're going to play as 2B for this one. This is another one that you can attempt any one of multiple times throughout the game. As far as I know, there's not a complete guide of all the times this can be attempted. Well, I mean, it can be attempted most times during the game. There's not a complete guide, as far as I know, of when this ending can actually be gotten. But according to the guide that I'm working off of, this is one of the easiest times to just chapter select to the ending, so we're going to take care of it now. And to get this ending, we have to kill all the machines in the machine village. Now, during the time that it's going to take me to do that, I did not mean to shoot. During the time that it's going to take me to do that, I am going to go ahead and apologize for not having a video up last Friday, and yes, I am aware this is a bit of a weird time to bring that specifically up, but the reason that I didn't have a video up, I tried to, but while I was recording this last time, the game crashed in the middle of me trying to record this ending, and there's a level up, always nice to see those. For some reason, I was unable to get my controller to work with my computer properly after that, so I haven't been able to record since. I just got a new controller in the mail this morning. Literally took it out of the box minutes ago. So, if I don't play particularly well for the rest of this recording, and like that would suggest, this is a separate recording session from... An interesting thing to note with that machine is that even once you destroy her, the marker that says that she has a quest to give remains there. It's kind of weird, but... Also, don't forget this guy up here. So anyway, I am playing with a new controller now. This is a different recording session than I have gotten the previous endings in. So that's why I wasn't able to upload, and also if my playing for the rest of this episode isn't up to par, then that's going to be my quick and easy excuse. I'm not quite used to my new controller yet. Also, the shop icons are there for the shop machines that we destroyed. So that's my quick and easy excuse. I'm not used to the controller yet. That's what I get for trying to save money by buying a cheap third-party controller. Now I have what I hope is a slightly less cheap third-party controller, because apparently I just don't learn my lesson. But I can already tell, just from the couple minutes that I've been holding it, I can already tell that this controller just feels like it was made better than the last one. So hopefully it'll last me a lot longer. That last one only lasted for about a year or so. Doesn't look like Jean-Paul is here, so we can't murder him at the moment. Like I was saying, that last controller that I was working with only lasted me for about a year or so, which feels a little bit disappointing, but this one, it just, in my hands, feels much higher quality already. I do, as far as the shape, I do think I slightly prefer... I'm gonna slash at this a couple times just in case there's a machine inside that we can't get to. Doesn't seem like there is. I do think I prefer the shape of the last one a little bit, but hopefully that's just because I'm not quite used to this new one yet, and hopefully once I get more acquainted with the feel of it in my hands, I will like the shape of it as much, if not better, than the last one I was using. Anyway, that's, did these guys respawn? They sure did. That's interesting. Oh, don't tell me these machines are going to keep respawning. That'll make this ending really hard to get. One thing I have noticed, though, is that for some reason I haven't been able to target anybody. I'm just going to assume for the time being that that's because these machines weren't actually intended to be enemies, and not because of anything to do with my new controller. I really hope it's not anything to do with my new controller. That would be a pain to try to figure out. while I'm in the process of destroying all these machines, because it is taking a bit, I will take this moment to say a couple... There is another machine somewhere around here. Oh, it's in there. Didn't notice it. This is why you always look at your mini-maps, kids. Anyway, I will take a moment to say a couple words about the future of this series specifically, and my channel in general. Here's Pascal. Never mind, I guess we're about to finish the ending, it looks like. Yep, there it is. A village of peaceful machines was wiped out through the actions of one deranged android. Thus did the peaceful machines go extinct. Their village is now a haunted, forbidden place. Those who wandered too close can hear the mad sounds of an android's laughter. No Man's Village. And on the chapter select screen once more, for ending O, we want to go to chapter 11. And specifically, we want 11-03 or 11-04. We're going to go ahead and go with 11-03. Yes, 2B's Battle for Control. So to trigger this ending, at this point, instead of running forward into the city, we run back towards the factory. If you chose 1104, you'll be playing as 9S during the part where all of the androids are being hit by the EMP. If that is the case, what you do to trigger the ending is hack the other androids other than 2B until the mission fails, or just run away. So, hopefully soon, we will trigger the ending. Maybe.
Alert. Exiting the planned operational area.
Alright, there we go. Some Yorha units abandoned their mission. The operation failed, and every android met their demise. Well, except for the really selfish ones. They were fine. Just you and me. And back on the chapter select screen once again. For ending P, we want to go to chapter 11 again. This time 1106, 2B's final moments.
Alert. Multiple enemies confirmed.
Well, this is a good time to see if targeting works. It does. Alright. So it was just because the machine villagers were not meant to be enemies, not enemies. Good job, Brainy. You can speak English. Anyway, now that this ending is going to take a while, we do want to get rid of these enemies for this ending. Now that this ending is going to take a bit of a while, it would be a good idea, or a good time to talk about what I was going to talk about at the end of ending N. That was a lot of N's. I leveled up again? Oh, right, because it doesn't save when you do endings. Ooh, which means that all of the money and resources I'm collecting while doing these endings will help me out later. So the future of this series, a bit of the future of the channel. After this video, there should only be 2 episodes left, but you know, I just came off of a very brief hiatus, but following this episode, I will be going on hiatus again.
Virus infection detected. Proposal. Administer vaccine immediately.
So, for this ending, stop cutting myself off again. For this ending, we do want to let 2B be completely overcome by the virus before we get to A2. But what we're going to do is we are going to head...
Virus contamination rate up to 16%. Malfunction detected in NFCS circuit.
I have to keep it from spreading to other androids. Pod, give me a location that's low on android signals.
We are going to continue to head towards the bridge.
Searching. Analysis. The area near the abandoned commercial facility meets the desired parameters. Alert. Your high unit 2B will sustain serious damage unless the virus is eliminated.
You don't say.
Because once we get to the bridge, the virus contamination rate or the system corruption meter will jump up significantly. Like you saw, it does jump up significantly the further along you get, just for the sake of suspense. So what the ending guide suggests to do, and what I am going to do, is head towards the bridge, and once I get to the bridge, just wait there until...
Virus contamination rate up to 21%.
Remove the contamination and reset.
Analysis. Virus is transforming and progressing its own algorithm with abnormal speed. Removal will be difficult.
Like I was saying, we're going to head to the bridge and just wait out the rest of it there. So, I am going to be going on a bit of a hiatus after this episode. Don't know how long it will be, but what I will be doing during that hiatus is getting myself set up to take care of Ending Y, since I did mention that we're not going to be doing Ending Y this time around. I will be getting myself set up to do Ending Y, and then I will come back when I'm ready to do Ending Y, and I'll do a video on that, and I will do a video on Ending E, and those will be the last 2 episodes of the series. It's kind of amazing that I've only got 2 episodes left, considering, I mean, this is a project that I started probably 11 months ago at this point. By the time I finish it, especially since, I mean, during the hiatus I also have lots of school stuff to take care of, which is another reason I'm going to be going on a bit of a hiatus. But anyway, as I was saying, it's kind of amazing to think that the project's almost done, because this is something I've been working on for about 11 months now. And while I don't think that I'm going to reach to, or at least I hope that I'm not still doing videos at the 1-year mark since I started this project. It's entirely, or since my first upload at least, it's entirely possible that I will still be working on the project at about the 1-year mark of when I started making videos, because that happened very close to the end of November last year. If I could, you know, not get killed by these machines, that would be nice. Coming up to this roof was not a good plan. Thankfully, I can get off of it.
Alert. Virus contamination rate up to 32%. Malfunction detected in visual processing system.
And there's another machine chasing after me. Come on, come on.
Council of Humanity is a message for all of us fighting on the surface. Today, I have wonderful news. The Council of Humanity has decided to increase the production of food. This will enable us to deal a powerful blow to our ancient enemies. The light of hope is near, closer than ever to it. We look forward to future glory, and know that you will be the ones to bring it to us. Glory to mankind.
So, beyond the end of this series,
Virus contamination rate up to 57%. Malfunction detected in FFCS circuit.
So I can't attack it all now. Beyond the end of this series, I am going to be taking a break from Let's Playing. Oh, why is the moose attacking me now? I'm going to be taking a break from Let's Playing until at least the end of 2019. I don't know when I'll be starting again, but it won't be at any point for the rest of this year. I also don't know or I'm not going to say for sure what my next series is going to be. I do have a pretty good idea of what it's going to be. These boars are dying. I do have a pretty good idea of what it's going to be, but I'm not going to say what it is quite yet. I will tell you for certain. Alright, I'm going to just stand here and wait. Oh, didn't have to wait for long. Oh, no, we're still going. Right. This is always a bit of a surreal part of the game. I suppose that's intentional. Anyway, I've got a good idea of what I'm going to be playing next, and I will tell you for sure that it will be shorter than this game. That's not to say I'll never be playing a game as long or longer than this again, but I don't want to play 2 long-ish games in a row for the channel, so next game's going to be a lot shorter. But I hope that you will enjoy it nevertheless, and you will find out what that will be much later on. And we're just about to this ending. There we go. The virus reached 2B's central nervous system. She soon lost all sense of reason, and ended up roaming the ruins until her power failed. Corruption. On our good old chapter select screen again, we are going to chapter 11 once again. This time we're going to chapter 11:7, 9S gets separated.
Where the hell is 2B?
Scanning. Black box signal located.
Put it on the map!
Alert. Large-scale ground tremors detected. Underground soil structure is no longer stable. Cause is likely a high-magnitude earthquake. Proposal. Evacuate immediately.
I'm not going anywhere!
So you're probably getting the hang of these endings by now. To get ending Q, don't go to 2B. The guide I'm looking at suggests going to the desert or the resistance camp, so we're going to head to the desert. There are a lot of android corpses lying around. This is...
Proposal. Proceed to rendezvous point with 2B.
Oh, we don't even need to go all the way to the desert. I wasn't expecting that. 9S suddenly lost interest in 2B. No one knows why. He just didn't care anymore. Questionable actions. Back on the chapter select screen. For ending R, we want to go to chapter 14. Specifically 14.5, A2 and the Children. But I went ahead and looked at the next ending when I really shouldn't have yet. And now my phone, where I have the ending guide up, is frozen. Give me a second. Technology just really does not want me to record the rest of this video, huh? Alright, there we go. Got it. Alright. So, in this ending, it says we can attack the peaceful robots nearby Pascal. I'm assuming that just means the children. But it says that going berserk in the room with Pascal and the children can also trigger this ending. So let's go ahead and go into the berserk mode.
Pascal, are you okay?
Oh, I accidentally went towards Pascal trying to go into berserk mode.
If you hadn't come, thank you.
Alright, come on. There we go. A2 had a bright idea that involved destroying every machine in sight. Pascal could only watch in astonishment. Maverick. Chapter select screen, ending S. We want to go to chapter 1701, 9S heads to the tower. And I am sure you didn't see this coming, but the title of this ending appears to be, of all things, a Sonic the Hedgehog reference. So if you're chapter selecting in, then you will in fact need to rehack all the tower subunits and take care of that. Thankfully, it is not really the biggest deal. Shouldn't take too terribly long. It's just a bit of a hassle, but not a big deal. Anyway, as I was saying, the title of this ending appears to be a Sonic the Hedgehog reference. This ending's title is City Escape. I'm not kidding. Just let that sink in for a bit, you know? City Escape. Sure thing, Yoko Taro, or whoever named these endings. Well, we've nearly got all of the tower subunits unlocked again. Ow. I got hurt. Pain. Suffering. Come on. Almost out of time. Alright, was able to finish with actually plenty of time to spare. So that's all the tower subunits. So we should be able to get to the main tower.
All of the subunits. That means a special prize is waiting for you inside the tower.
Boy, I can't wait to go collect it. We're actually not going to be collecting the special prize this time.
Alert. Enemy caution level rising. Cause is most likely concerned over Unit 9S gaining access to tower.
So we do want to start the hacking process like before. Not get killed, hopefully. Spear guys sure are obnoxious. Okay. Okay, focus on the enemies. Focus on the enemies. No. Maybe? Come on. Alright, did not expect this to be quite as much of a hassle as it is being. And another level up. Because we're pretty close to a level up, I guess. Ow. You guys chill out, please. And by chill out, I mean die.
They won't stop coming!
Yep, there are a lot of them.
Alert. Allied signal detected.
Allies? Wait, you?
9S, we've been expecting you. The two of us will take things from here. You need to open the door to the tower.
Note that Popola is in fact left-handed.
Popola? What are you doing here?
Remember your promise?
What are you talking about?
Come on, 9S. Hack in while you can.
None of this makes any sense!
We'll explain.
No, we can't just abandon them. If we don't do something, they're gonna...
So to get city escape, we need to escape from the city.
Alert. Leaving the zone of combat would mean abandoning the androids Devila and Popola. Proposal. Hack into the main tower unit.
Where are you going, 9S? We need... Damn. Looks like this is it. No.
Of course, Devila and Popola died. Their lifeless bodies were found shortly thereafter, each clutched tightly in the other's arms. City escape. Did you think I was kidding? I was not kidding. City escape. For ending T, you don't need to go to any specific point in the story, so we're just going to arbitrarily go to... let's go to the Resistance camp. To get ending T, go to, what do we want, skills, plug-in chips, go to whatever you have at the moment, go to equip chips, find your OS chip, and remove it. Caution, handle with care. Removal of the OS chip will result in death. Fatal error. Yeah, most of these endings are just really dumb ways of dying. And for ending you, we're going to go to chapter 6.1. You can do ending you during any visit to the bunker, but chapter 6.1 is just a quick and easy place to chapter select in.
That concludes our report on the events surrounding the alien. Then the content speak of your net. This knowledge
Alright, and to get this ending, we actually did something earlier that's going to prevent us from getting it for now, but we can fix that soon enough, if I can figure out where. Let's go to settings. I hope so. I hope we can enable it. Oh, right, here it is. We need to turn self-destruct on, and then I believe we can do self-destruct the same way we would do Berserker mode. Sure enough. You'll see we used a large recovery upon self-destructing. By self-destructing at the bunker, the entire structure ended up exploding in a spectacular fashion. But hey, it sure did look pretty from Earth. Somewhere in the depths of space, the commander still floats about with a stern look on her face. How? She was right next to us when we self-destructed. Holy cow. She must be, quite sturdy. Back on Chapter Select. For Ending V, we want to go to Chapter 17.1 again. I'm going to be skipping a lot of stuff again, so I will catch you back when I'm back.
Wait, you?
9S, we've been expecting you. The two of us will take things from here. You need to open the door to the tower.
Ending V is very similar to Ending S, so don't get confused.
What are you doing here?
For this ending, instead of hacking into the tower or running away from the tower, we instead need to help Devila and Popola fight off the machines surrounding the tower.
None of this makes any sense!
We'll explain everything once we're inside.
Eventually. Didn't realize it went on this long. Alright. Eventually. This is how you're supposed to do it. But it sure is taking a while. Wow. I thought we would just, like, defeat a few of these guys and be on our way. Man.
We've got this, 9S. You just focus on hacking.
Alright, hopefully now that they've actually mentioned something about it, that is the cue for the ending to start very soon, please. Still going. Apparently for this ending you can just stand still instead of doing, you know, anything, but don't want to just stand still. That would be too boring. Might as well fight these guys. Come on. Why isn't the ending happening yet? Holy cow. Second now. Man. I almost want to check and make sure this is the right way, but I'm scared that pausing the game will restart some sort of timer or something. This is going on long. Okay. They said something about it again, so we should be getting close. Yeah, since just standing still is an option, there must be some sort of timer. It's just a heck of a lot longer than I thought it was. At least a lot longer than I expected it to be. We've gotta be getting close though, right? I mean, if it takes this long, how would they expect people to find this ending on their own? Although, to be fair, I suppose a lot of the enemies are a bit on the esoteric side. My goodness. Can this please be the last wave? Alright, I'm ready to be done with this ending now, guys. We just jump on ahead to it.
I can't do this anymore! Ah!
9S decided not to hack the tower in order to help Devila and Popola. It was a nice thought, but they all ended up getting killed anyway. My goodness, that took a long time. I cut out part of the fight, and it wound up going on another about 4 minutes after I stopped saying anything. So, my goodness, ending V takes much longer than I expected to get.
Alert. Heavy damage. Standard flight signal estimated. Initiate short range control. Activating short-range attack gear. Alert. Large enemy group detected.
Yes, I'm aware of that.
For ending W, you can go to any point in the tutorial where you play as 2B. I chose after the flight segment because eventually I should be able to access my chips. There we go. And I did, in fact, forget to unequip a couple chips that I'm going to want to have unequipped for this. I am going to, for now, take off Auto Heal 2. Actually, here's what I'm going to do. I am going to equip set B so I can switch back to set A real quick when I need to. Here I don't have any of my HP boosters, although I'm still really not taking any damage right now. I don't have any of my HP boosters or my auto heals or anything like that. And that's because the way to get the way to get this ending is to die during the tutorial. So I want to make dying during the tutorial as easy for myself as possible. And apparently these enemies don't really want to do much damage to me, so maybe because I'm at a quite high level, so hopefully this boss, or this mini-boss, will do a bit more damage to me. I still can't see its name at this point. This is called Marks.
Is that our target?
Negative. This enemy is unrelated. Proposal. Dispatch it as swiftly as possible.
You don't say.
Wow, it is not doing much to me at all. This is gonna take a bit. Come on, buddy. Fight me, please. Alright. Just die during the tutorial. I'll go ahead and cut away to when I actually do.
Laser communications recovered.
I'm transmitting your pod program.
Pod program download complete.
So what I ended up doing is, instead of waiting for these guys to kill me, because that's going to take forever, I've been jumping into this pit repeatedly. So hopefully just one or two more will do it. We are very close to dying now. Excellent. The Orha force was annihilated, and Earth went on to become a paradise for the machines. Broken wings. And back on Chapter Select, for Ending X, we want to go back to 11-6. And this time, what we want to do is, when we get control of A2, just run away from 2B instead of helping. I am going to go ahead and cut out the whole bit as 2B, so you don't have to watch through all that again. So now that we're playing as A2, we can just run away to trigger this ending. Let's go ahead across the bridge. A2 suddenly felt like taking a little stroll. Although the walk gave her a sense of peace and fulfillment, 2B's body had been consumed by machines when she returned. Time to relax. And last time on Chapter Select for today, we are going to Chapter 14-1. Yep, 14-1. Alright, so, like they suggested, we do want to head towards the resistance camp. I completely missed it the first time. And now that we're at the resistance camp, we want to head out towards the front entrance.
Help me! Are those machines fighting each other?
And find Pascal under attack. We want to save Pascal. Gain a level up again. And go talk to Pascal.
Thank you so much for saving me.
After getting this money, which will make no impact on us.
You're a machine too.
Wait, please. I have no intention of harming you. My name is Pascal, and while it's true that I am a machine life form, I also detest fighting of any kind.
Uh-huh. And machines don't have souls. They're just murder bots with a fancy name. They killed so many of us. And I swore to make them pay.
I see. If that will save your soul, then so be it.
And at this point, we want to destroy Pascal. A2 destroyed Pascal. Pascal's death led to the collapse of his village and its residents going out of control, resulting in the elimination of all androids on Earth. Overzealous. So, There we go. We now have 24 of the 26 endings in Nier Automata. Like I said, I am going to take a little bit of a break now, and next time we will come back and fight the super boss to get ending Y. I will see you then.